Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be me testing out powder before foundation. So we're always taught to not put liquids over powders, but I saw this technique floating around YouTube and Instagram and I wanted to try it out because I thought it was really cool. Some of you guys recommended it to me and I wanted to test it out. I actually did some research recently because I just started watching these kinds of videos. I saw that actually originally Wayne Goss came up with this technique 3 years ago, which if you have not seen it, if you don't know who that is, definitely look him up on YouTube. He's awesome. He's a professional makeup artist. So this is really geared towards people who have oily skin. It's supposed to keep you matte for a long period of time, reduce pores, and just make your foundation look really flawless for hours, more so than just doing a regular foundation routine. So I have combo skin, so I thought it would be really cool to kind of test it out to see if it works, how it works. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's just go ahead and test this out. Okay, so the first step to this technique is moisturizer. I'm just going to apply a generous amount just because I can imagine that this kind of makes your face feel like really dry, just because obviously we're applying powder and then foundation. So I just want to play it cool. I really want this to work, so I'm really going to apply a good amount and just massage this all over my skin. Like I mentioned, I do have combo skin, so basically my forehead, my nose, and like right here and my chin are like the main areas that get super oily. The rest of my skin is pretty normal to dry, depending, but that is my skin. Okay, so once that's really absorbed into the skin, you want to go in with translucent powder. I'm using my RCMA no color powder. I thought this would be the best because it's so finely milled. Do you hear the thunder outside? It's literally gonna pour. Okay, so I love this powder because it's so lightweight. It doesn't look or feel like you have powder on your skin. I absolutely love it. I hate the packaging, but I always look past it because the powder itself is really good. You can get this on Beautylish. You want to use something that has no color in it. So don't use a translucent powder that's like a banana color or a skin tone color because it's not going to work the best from what I've seen. It's best to use a powder like this. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe sponge. L'Oreal has one that's literally just like it. I actually like that one better because this one, whenever I wash it, there's like this red dye from here that literally leaks out everywhere, which I don't know why. I think that's weird, but check out the L'Oreal one if you want a good beauty blender dupe. So I'm just going to take the powder and basically just apply it on the areas where I feel like I need it the most. I'm not going to apply the translucent powder all over my skin just because, like I said, my entire face is not oily. And I'm going to apply a decent amount because I've seen other people do a lot, so apply this and pack it on. I'm going to do a couple layers of the powder, and this powder is so lightweight anyways, so that's why I think it's perfect for this method. I'm also going to apply a little bit right underneath my eyes. It doesn't necessarily get really oily there for me. It looks so funny. Oh my gosh. It doesn't get oily, but I always have like creases with my concealer, like my little fine lines, they always crease, so maybe this will help. I don't know. We're just experimenting, going with the flow, seeing what happens. Okay, so once you look like this, then that means you're doing it right. Then I'm going to go in with foundation. I've been obsessed with the Lottie London Selfie Ready Medium Coverage Matte Foundation. This is amazing. You can get this at Ulta online. Unfortunately, it's not sold in stores yet. This is like a new brand. I did like a one brand tutorial, first impression type of video with this brand, and I'm obsessed with so many of their things, and this foundation has been like my go-to lately. So I have this one in the shade Soft Sand, and I love the packaging. It's like a squeezy tube. I really thought that my face was going to feel like really dry and tight, you know, like really matte, but it feels really comfortable. It doesn't even feel like I have powder on. I think the moisturizer before the powder really helps a ton. I'm going to be using the Moda Beauty Prismatic Face Brush. You can get these at Walmart. I love these for foundation, so I'm just going to go ahead and just blend this out. Oh wow. It's blending really good. This foundation for me is typically always like a really good medium coverage, but with the powder underneath, I truly feel like this is like full coverage. Wow, I'm super impressed. Blending out flawlessly. I still have some foundation on the back of my hand, which typically I would use, but I honestly don't even feel like I need it at this point. So far, so good. Mind you, these brushes are also really, really good too. Like for foundation, they give you such great coverage. But I'm like really impressed at the fact that this literally looks like a natural powder finish on my skin. Like my skin doesn't feel dry. It has great coverage. It looks really, really good. So let's zoom in a little bit so you could see my skin. I really like that so far, so I'm curious to see how the concealer is going to work. So I'm going to go in with the Lorac Porefection Concealer, and I have this one in the shade Medium. I've been testing out some new concealers lately, so this is one of them. I'm just going to apply this right underneath my eyes. This is a little bit of a thicker concealer, so you really don't need a lot. I'm going to use my Morphe sponge just to blend that out. This concealer isn't blending out the best. I guess it's maybe because the formula is so thick going over top of a powder, it's not really working the greatest. Over top of the powder, it doesn't work the best. I think like a more lightweight concealer would work better. Yeah, this concealer does not look the best. I don't know if you can really see that right there. It's like kind of picking up like the powder underneath my eyes. So I guess if you're using this method, maybe use a more creamy concealer. This one is really, really like a thicker formula. But I mean, it doesn't look awful, but this concealer is not my favorite. So when I was watching Wayne Goss, he actually did say that if you are finished your face and everything, you can go ahead and set your makeup very, very lightly with the same powder. So that's what I'm gonna do it, and like I'm gonna be very, very light-handed. I'm gonna use the Morphe E8 brush, and I'm just gonna dip right back into the powder, tap off the excess, and just set my face a little bit. I usually always set the rest of my face like when I'm doing my makeup, even though it's like normal to dry, just because I feel like my bronzer, blush, and everything goes on really smooth after I do that. But today, honestly, I just feel like I don't need to. Like my skin feels so soft. It already feels like it has like the right amount of powder and everything on it. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be right back. We'll do a flash photography test on my phone, and I'll do a check-in later on to see if this really is super long wearing. So I'll see you guys very soon. Alright guys, I'm back, and this is what my makeup is looking like. If you are interested in the eyes and everything, I will leave my face products and everything in the description box below. So I'm honestly really impressed with how everything's looking. I didn't think it was going to work the best on my skin just because of also the other videos that I've seen. Some people say this is really dry, it makes your makeup look cakey. I honestly think that my makeup looks so good. I feel like my pores, like they're still there. They're not going to be completely invisible, but they're definitely reduced, especially around this area right here, like around my nose and stuff. I love the way everything looks. It just looks so natural. It looks like it's like melted into my skin. It doesn't look cakey. My blush, my bronzer, my highlight, everything went on super smooth. So I'm really happy so far. And I'm just gonna go ahead really quick and set my makeup with my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I used to not be a firm believer in setting sprays, but now it's like I have to use a setting spray. I feel like it makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a fair shot and just spritz my face. And another test we're going to do is flash photography. So I've heard that this isn't really the best method to do when taking flash photography pictures because it does give you a white cast. Personally, I never take pictures with flash, like unless maybe I'm out with friends or something. But on a daily, whenever I'm taking selfies, I just use my camera or my phone and I just sit in front of a window and that's it. I never take flash pictures. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my phone. I have the iPhone 7 if you're curious. And I'm just going to turn my ring light off just so you can kind of see it better. Whew, it is dark. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, Ooh, not cute. Okay, that picture is not cute of me at all. Okay, so honestly, it doesn't look like the best, but it also doesn't look awful in my opinion. I've had way worse, but you can see my face is a little bit lighter than my body. So by the looks of it, I guess this method is really only good for when you're not taking pictures, at least with flash anyway. But other than that, I do think that it looks really flawless. I'm really impressed so far. So what I'm gonna do is check in with you guys in a few hours to see how the makeup is wearing. So right now it is approximately 3:37 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and just go about my day for a few hours. I'm actually gonna film another video, and then I'll be back and I'll check in with you guys and let you know how the foundation is wearing. So I'll see you soon. Hey guys, I'm back. So right now it is 7:14 p.m. So I've had the foundation on for a little over 3 hours. This is normally the time where I would have to touch up my makeup, and this is what everything is looking like. I honestly think everything looks really good except my forehead. You can see it is a little bit shiny. It's not excessive, trust me. I've had way worse, and touching it, it does feel a little oily. But I also didn't use a primer, so that could have something to do with it. With the Lottie London foundation, lately I have been using it with a primer every single time I do my makeup, and I've been loving it that way. So this is like the first time I've used it without a primer, so that could be why it's a little oily, but I don't think it's that bad. It's really nothing that a little bit of powder or a blotting sheet can't fix. So right now I'm going to touch up on camera. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild mattifying powder that I have, and I'm going to just use my Morphe E8 brush just to touch up on my forehead a little bit. So there you go. Once you touch up, honestly, it looks really good. When I touch the rest of my forehead, like my nose, my cheeks, my chin, it doesn't really feel all that oily. So overall, I do think this method is worth trying. I love the way my makeup looks. Like, it doesn't look bad. I think everything just absorbed beautifully into my skin. It didn't over dry my makeup out. Around my nose area, it does always tend to get a little dry. I'm pretty used to that at this point, so it doesn't really bother me when it comes to foundations. It's kind of just like, it is what it is. I'm human. It happens. Another thing I wanted to mention, my under eye area is a hot mess. I do not like that Lorac concealer. I think it's awful. It's a little too thick, and I think with this method, personally, it's just not the best either. I have been using it, and it's really not my favorite either. You guys will probably hear about it in an upcoming video. And then sometimes around my mouth, it will get a little dry as well. But overall, I do really like the way everything looks. I think this is definitely worth trying, especially if you have oily skin. Give it a try. I mean, why not? I'm sure it'll work even better with a primer. It would definitely prolong the time of having to touch up. So I'm going to try it out with a primer, and then I'll let you guys know for sure. So hopefully this video was helpful for some of you guys. Let me know if you've tried this method down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you have oily skin. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a few days in my next video. Bye!